diploma. So I did the British Society of Lifestyle Medicine diploma. And in that, obviously, you learn the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine, and you learn also all the different types of validated ways that you can help people change their lifestyle. But so I knew all about I know a lot about the 6 pillars of lifestyle, what everyone need, what we can advise people to do. But and I learned about all the different types of methods that you can help people from get to A to B. But really, I wanted to learn a tool that was going to help me be able to facilitate people from being able to transform their life. And so that's what drew me to the course, first of all. And so and I'm so glad I did, because I think I now, on reflection, looking back at it, I realize you really do need to have, you can give everyone the theory or you can discuss the theory, but really part of it is trying to help people or facilitate people to be able to go from A to B if they want to change their lifestyle. So that's what drew me to it in the first place. So I've been a GP I've been a doctor for 30 years, been a GP for 20 years. And I thought that I was quite good at doing consultations. So I thought, I've been doing it for a long time. And but what I didn't, that coaching is completely different. And actually, the two go very well together. So being able to learn a new skill, which you can then put into your GP consultations, and actually feel that it has helped my GP consultations, it's made them better, and I've got more connection with the patients, and I think I've allowed them to find out really what's important to them and what they want out of it, rather than our consultations being very doctor centered and me telling them what they need and then them going out, yeah, I'm not going to do any of that. So that's what's really enlightened. That's the sort of enlightenment I've had. I didn't think I would, at the end of it, have a group of friends. So that's been really nice, and not something I expected at all. So I really like the small groups, because I feel that everyone had an opportunity to talk. So because there's only 9 of you, you can go back, in every single question, everyone gets a chance to express their opinions and their thoughts. So I think that it's really nice in the smaller numbers, so that everyone gets an opportunity to speak and no one suddenly feels left out or sort of a bit sort of isolated. So that's been really nice. So all the tools that we've learned along the way. So I think going through those for yourself has been quite transformational. Like everyone else, we're all busy. I've got full-time job, I've got 4 kids. Busy people. You don't often have time to reflect on your own life. And even doing that, the river of life exercise, you could sort of just spend a bit of time just looking through that. I think that was, and you realize what's been important, what hasn't. And I think that's been sort of transformational in a way. Changing my consultation techniques, I think, has been a big change. So I've probably mentioned, I've mentioned it on the course. So I work in a prison. I work with very vulnerable men. I physically have noticed myself just sitting back in my chair and just letting them speak and letting them talk about the things that they want to talk about, rather than me, them coming in, right, we need to talk about your blood pressure, we need to talk about this and that. So that has been, I think that has probably my consultation techniques have transformed the most. So as I said, I work in a prison. I'm very privileged because I have more time with my patients than you would normally have in a normal GP surgery. I think I've started using my skills in my consultations, because we have a bit more time. I can afford to do that. So yeah, and in all aspects, to be honest, you know, like I said, I've got 4 young adult children or young adults, and rather than me giving me their advice, inflicting my advice onto them all the time, I do now try and sit back and listen to what they've got to say and let them take the lead. And, like we say, sort of they have new thoughts, and that's been very useful. So useful in my NHS work. It will hopefully be useful when I set up my private practice and also in my personal life. So I would say definitely to do it, because I think that when you're, especially people who've been down the same pathway as I have, you've done your diploma, and so you've got all the knowledge, and you're thinking, right, what tool am I going to be using to take people or facilitate people from going to A to B? I think learning how to do transformational lifestyle coaching is ideal. So I would definitely recommend it. And it's reasonably priced, I think.